Welcome everyone to Fanboy Frenzy, and we're back again with some more Battleborn footage. And this time we're going to talk about the first boss battle or major boss battle in Battleborn, and it's Geoff or Geoff or whatever the hell his name is, but it's a ginormous freaking spider-like creature. And you can tell that, first off, let me make it very clear. I'm going to do a video later on about just how damn similar Battleborn and Borderlands 2 is. My favorite game ever, but we'll get to that some other time. You can even tell right there with the title card or the name card for the character. You can see that it's almost identical. But anyway, back into the battle. Right here, I'm actually playing with Marquise, and you can see I'm actually sniping the character right in the head. And you'll notice that here coming up pretty soon, you're going to see that there's going to open up a couple of different spots where you got to essentially draw out this spider from, well, you see right there, boy, just jumped at you. And I'm going to let you know, if a real spider jumps me that way, my ass is hauling out of the room. But anyway, you'll see here that there's a couple of different areas that come up on the map. They want you to go to these areas so that you can essentially stand in these portals, and you have to disrupt them so as to ensure that you draw out the spider himself. And so you can see here, I'm weaving through this particular areas, just trying to find the right locations. The good thing about this, I really enjoy the map system in this game, and or at least the ability to kind of give you a guide in terms of where you need to go. One thing I need to point out is that, you know, me being such a Borderlands 2 fan, that it's interesting to see that the way that the materials and stuff, like your power-ups, your ammunition and whatnot, the way it lands on the ground in this particular game, you can see that the shit is just like Borderlands 2. Now you'll see right here, these are one of the areas that you have to stand in, and you'll notice that the meter will actually make its way all the way around, and whenever it does that, then you know that you've deactivated that particular portal, or that you've disrupted the power flow, which will, after you've done 2 or 3 at a time, then it'll unlock the area in which Geoff or Geoff, we're going to call him, will actually respawn himself. And you can see he's come back into the area. One thing that's interesting is that there's parts in there, whenever you begin to fight him, he will start to call out essentially these webs that will catch you and hold you, and allows his other enemies and these other bots to start coming at you and trying to kill you. But in this area, every time you disrupt these particular I would say computer areas, or these portals, if you will, these pods or whatever you want to call them, you actually will notice that gas starts coming into the room, which is basically meant to try to get you out of that room as soon as possible, so that your character doesn't die. I actually had a friend, you'll notice in the gameplay, you know, he was kind of taken aback by it. He thought that, you know, it was releasing like a steam or a gas for a short time, and that the shit would stop, but it didn't. Shit just kept coming. So, you know, he actually died and had to revive him in here. But it's the same pattern. I mean, it's not really too complicated. You know, we were playing the game on normal. Perhaps if you're playing it on hard, you know, they might throw a little bit more of a challenge at you, but it really wasn't a huge challenge. As long as you continue to fight. I do notice that sometimes, like you'll see with Marquise, I really enjoy his abilities, like such as sending out that eagle to kind of do some damage. Kind of reminds you of the Necromancer in Borderlands 2, and being able to send out Death Trap. Or even Borderlands 1, you know, being Mordecai, being able to send out Bloodwing, but that's for another day. You'll see right here, I'm getting ready to revive a partner, a la Borderlands 2 style as well. And we're going to go through here and start to finish up this particular character. You'll notice that the spider, Geoff, he actually takes a hell of a lot of damage. He's almost a bullet sponge of sorts, but you'll notice here that here pretty soon we're going to start hitting really hard and heavy with our special abilities, which is what you want to do. Oh, and by the way, you'll notice that right there is one of the webs I was mentioning. They're easy to see. So at the initial time of playing this, I was just kind of trying to still get used to the game. You know, I only been playing the beta for maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And so you'll see right here that I'm using a couple of my special abilities to really deal high damage. I always try to make sure I get him from the backside here, as fucking weird as that sounds right now, but you really want to make sure that you do that, because I think he's a little weaker in this specific area. You'll notice that his damage is really starting to go down substantially, and here pretty soon you're going to see him hop off, and he's going to go and hide again, and you're going to have to go and rinse and repeat. Really, it's not a hugely complicated boss battle. I think really it's just there to kind of get you to understand the mechanics of the game and to kind of open up just the plethora of different options that you're going to be able to utilize in terms of your weapon capabilities. I actually have only played this particular stage with just Marquise because his character to me was the most interesting initially, at least the way that I liked him, because I'm a fan of Borderlands 2 of Sir Hammerlock, and of course I love C3PO, and essentially this guy looks like a love child of the two. So, and you'll notice I got this badass pistol, which on the other end of it is actually a badass rifle. So I mean, it's just a cool ass weapon, and I'm beating his ass, this his arachnid ass, and to the point when he's running and hiding and coming back. What you think in these games, ain't this is amazing, this shit, that you can have something that's like the size of a skyscraper, but when you're beating that ass, it runs away, man, like it's a mouse. And it's absolutely insane. Now you'll see right here, there's 3 points. They show up on your map, and it's the same way with the previous area. It shows you where to go. So you don't really have to guess in terms of, where it is you need to be. The waypoints show up for themselves. And so it makes it very, very easy to make sure you're navigating the right place so you don't waste time and shit, risking your life. You can get in there, disrupt these particular portals and drag his ass back out there so you can finish the job. You'll notice here that I'm taking out some of the enemies as best as possible just to prep the way a little bit. But you know what? I got to mention, since he's still trapped at this point, I just want to talk about the combat, and I will do a deeper video down the road, probably when the game releases, and try to do some Borderlands 2 and Battleborn kind of like comparison. But I really enjoy the combat on this. I think it's really fluid. I'm not too sure yet because I haven't had a lot of time with it. I've probably played it for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, but I haven't had a lot of time to see how the skill trees work out, because if you're familiar with a normal RPG, you have a skill tree, no different than Destiny, no different than Borderlands, and usually there's 2 to 3 different ones you can pick, and each one of them have their own perks and sets of abilities that maybe they're for defensive measures, maybe they're for offensive. This game's a little different because you can level up, but you actually unlock your abilities throughout the gameplay. So you might get level 1 abilities, level 2 abilities, level 3, and then you hit up on the D-pad and then you select between one of 2 options to kind of take you in more of a defensive or an offensive stance. Now let's go ahead and go back to the gameplay. You can see right here we're really lighting him up. He's actually almost done, which is amazing. You see I'm really hitting him hard and heavy in the legs and in the back with the weapons that I have, and it's just really taking him down super, super fast. But I tell you what, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got a kick out of seeing us take him down really, really fast. But it's really easy to take him down. He's not all complicated. And until next time, everybody, stay on the battlefield and battle born.